Flosstube. It's Holly Jones, Mrs. Jones Stitches on Instagram. Welcome back to another Flosstube. I haven't done one in a couple weeks, so I actually have quite a bit to share. I have a product review. I have 3 whips. I have a lot of haul, and I have 1 finish. So I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're getting ideas ready for spring and what you want to stitch. I hope you've gotten your market releases if you ordered anything new. There's not a ton new going on my end. I'm ready to start planting my spring flower beds and do some spring cleaning. I've been stitching a lot and chasing my kids around. So we'll get started. I'll show you my, we'll start with my finish. So this is Seasons of the Heart from With Thy Needle and Thread. And Jessica, Sweetwater Stitcher, and I decided to do a stitch along. The kind of rules of the stitch along, if you really want to call it a rule, just stitch anything out of the book. So there's a spring house here, a summer house, and then on the back there's an autumn and a winter house. Our hashtag is Seasons of the Heart Sal, and we'd love to see what you're stitching, and we can't wait to look at the hashtag and see everybody's progress. So Jessica and I both started with the spring house, and there's my spring house. The only thing, and thank goodness for this lady, I posted this on Instagram after I finished, and somebody pointed out that I forgot to stitch my leaves up here. So I need to go back and stitch those, and I'm so grateful that she pointed that out, because I think sometimes I just get in a hurry and I get so excited about being done with something that I leave out like a tiny but important detail. So anyway, I need to go back and put those in, and they'll be done. Jessica made a couple tags, and so she was sending me some tags, and then I'll probably I haven't decided if I'm going to turn this into a pillow yet, or if I'm probably going to frame it. I'm kind of leaning towards framing it. I'm not a super talented seamstress, so the idea of turning something into a pillow is a little daunting for me. So it'll probably get framed and then go up here on my hutch. So I realize I don't have any lipstick on today, but that's okay. You don't care. All right, so let's talk about, let's do my whips. So like a lot of other people, I have participated in the Frosted Pumpkin Under the Sea Stitch Along, and I've never done one of the Frosted Pumpkins stitch alongs before. I've seen a lot of the stuff they do. They've done national parks, they've done Once Upon a Time, they've done a zodiac theme, all super cute stuff. I've just never participated, but I have 2 little nieces, and they love all things girly, mermaids, princesses, you name it. So I have started this, and my sister is actually a knitter, and she not only knits, but she dyes her own yarn. You can find her on Instagram at Moonglow Yarn Co. And Whitney is going to cross stitch one of these too. So I was super excited to kind of help her pick out her colors and help her pick out her fabric. And like I said, I'm probably going to send mine up so each one of the little girls has a piece for her room. But here is part 1. Here is my part 1. And I'm stitching with all color and cotton. And I chose my own colors, but I did stick to similarly called for colors for now. Obviously I didn't want anything wild. I didn't want purple dolphins or anything like that. The only really changes I've seen a lot of people making are pretty much on their mermaids. I've seen a mermaid with a really pretty red hair. I've seen a blue haired mermaid. I saw someone else kind of did like rainbow colors. And I probably might change up my other mermaids, but I kind of want to see what the called for is and if I think it'd be pretty or not. So, but there's my progress for part 1, and I am anxiously awaiting part 2. I am stitching on, this is the called for, this is 32 count Nessie from Picture This Plus, and it's got a really nice model to it. It's kind of looking a little bit more gray on the video, but it is kind of a grayish aqua, and it's just a really nice color for this. I was really pleased. And actually, once I saw that they were doing an Under the Sea stitch along, I already had this piece in my stash. So I was really fortunate to already know that I was going to stitch this on this. I have my Under the Sea project bag made by my mom, Julie, and she made me a patchwork one with mermaids and some tentacles from an octopus and some fish. And there's the back of mine. Super pretty. Thank you, Mom. All right, and here are all my colors so far. These are not, again, these are not all the called for colors. Like, I don't have a yellow in here yet. I kind of want to see more of the pattern before I start pulling more colors. And since I do have a couple other whips, I want to make sure that I'm not pulling stuff that I might need for other pieces right now. So there is my first whip. My second whip, I kind of started this on a whim because I really wanted to start this other one, but I was waiting on fabric. And so I went ahead and started this, and I've since kind of put it to the side because I'm super into this other one that I'm working on. This is the Rabbit in the Rose from With Thy Needle and Thread. And I kind of fell in love with this pattern when I saw these big roses and this really pretty flowy ribbon. I thought it was just really pretty. So using mostly Color and Cotton. I do have a couple others in here. I have Tusk from Color and Cotton, Hollyberry, Blushing Beauty from Classic Colorworks. This is probably one of my favorite kind of pinks. It's real subtle, and it's got some kind of coral in there and a really soft pink. I have Antique Dried Golden Yarrow from Victorian Motto. And if you've never used Victorian Motto, this is really nice stuff. I want to say this was a 20-yard skein, and I bought it as part of the Dried Flowers collection off of their Etsy account. And I want to say it was 12 skeins, and they were each 20 yards, and it was like $34. This stuff is a steal, and it's really nice, and it's really fun to stitch with. And then I have a couple DMCs. I have DMC 3790 and 732, and my blue that I chose was 927. So there are my threads, and I started stitching the bunny, so I still have a little bit of the string, so, but there it is. And I'm stitching this on 32 count Aspen from Weeks. And I'll be honest, I haven't stitched a whole lot of stuff on Weeks, and this stuff is really soft, kind of real flimsy. So if you like a soft linen to stitch on, this stuff is fantastic. I really like it. I'm typically not like a Witchelt stitcher. I don't like a really firm linen. I know a lot of people who stitch in hand really like to use that. But for me, I like stitching in a hoop. And this is my first time using the Weeks linen, and it's really nice. So, all right, and my last whip is what I'm currently obsessed with. This is the Day from Plum Street Samplers, and when I saw this at market, I loved it. This house and those pink bricks are just fantastic, and I've never stitched anything this big. So I was really looking forward to the challenge. This pattern, I'm gonna hold it back, but it's 6 entire pages of this scene. So I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed to begin with. I wasn't really sure kind of where to start and how to tackle this because again, I've never done anything this big before. So when I start a project, I always start in the center. It's just how I was taught. So that's how I do it. And so the center ended up being kind of right in the middle of this house. So I decided that I was going to start with the mortar on the bricks and just start stitching the mortar because I kind of felt like if I started doing the individual bricks and switching colors that much that I was going to get really tired of it. So I've been working on this. I started on Saturday last week. And here is my progress. I've got this side of the house done. I need to do the bottom little part right here, but I kind of don't want to move my hoop right now. I want to get some of these bricks filled in, and then once I get that done, I'll probably work on the roof a little bit and try and get everything that's in the hoop done before I move it. But I'm loving this. Jessica from Sweetwater is doing this, and she and Chantel are hosting a stitch along, and you can follow along and join. It's Sweetwater, This is the Day, Sal. And Jessica has a Facebook group called Sweetwater Stitcher, so I highly encourage you to join the group. And you don't have to just share your progress on this. You can share your progress on anything, but it's a really fun group. Everybody's working on a lot of really fun things. I've gotten a ton of inspiration, and everybody is really encouraging too. So if you like stitch alongs, and if you like kind of being involved in the cross stitch community, that's a really great group to join. So I'm super excited. And speaking of this, sorry, I'm going to go back to Seasons of the Heart real quick. I think whenever I either get done with This is the Day, I think the next house I want to start on is this summer house. And if you watch Crafty Cottage Stitches, Heather and Jeanette, Heather's one of my good friends, and she's actually starting on this today. And she sent me a picture earlier, and it looks so good. So if you need a stitching buddy and you want to start this, look her up. She's on Instagram at White House Stitchery, and she's a ball of fun, and she makes some really cool stuff. So I'm really excited to see her progress on this and how awesome it turns out. Okay, let's do my product review real quick. So a couple weeks ago, I had a company reach out to me, BenQ, B-E-N-Q, and they do lighting. And they asked if I'd be interested in receiving one of their lights and giving a review on the product. And I said, sure, why not? So this came in the mail. And this is my stitching light that I've been using for the last couple weeks. And it comes on a pedestal right here. It's not super heavy, but it's not really light where it's going to tip or fall over or anything. You know what? Let me put it in this chair here. That way I can show you about it. Okay. So, here's the light. And it's got a curve. So one thing I like about it is a touch light. It comes on and off real easy. You just touch the circle here for the joint. There's a knob right here that will adjust the brightness. So if you don't want anything really bright, you can turn the knob. Or I love a super bright light when I'm stitching, so I usually have mine pretty high. It will do a warm white light. It'll do a soft blue light, or a soft light, I guess. Not necessarily blue, but you have your choice. And this has really been great. One thing that I really like about it is the shape. My current light is an aught light, and I've used that aught light for a couple years, and it's great, but the actual light portion is about this big, and it is adjustable on like an arm, but you know, if you move or the area that's actually lit is not great. But what I like about that light is at night when I'm stitching in bed and my husband's beside me, that light's not disturbing him because, you know, it's got a much smaller area that's actually lit up when I'm stitching. If that makes any sense, I hope it does. This light will light you up. It is very, very bright. I like that because, you know, when my husband's at the fire station and I am home by myself and I'm spread out, everything is lit up very well. And particularly I like how it curves up because it does increase the area that is lit, where it's not just limited to a particular spot. So this is adjustable. You know, you can bring it up or down. So for me, my light is on my nightstand and it kind of shines down. If you know, are used to something like this where you don't want the light above you, this is really great because you can adjust it down. But I really, really like this light. You can visit them on Instagram. It's BenQ lighting. And they also sell their lights on Amazon. Like I said, you can turn them down too. But this is great. I had a really great time reviewing this product. And one other thing I thought was just kind of neat about it, the cord is all wrapped, so it's not going to get knotted or tangled or even really crimped. It's just a really nice, thoughtfully well-designed product. So I hope if you're in the market for a new light that you will give them a chance and try them out. Like I said, I really enjoy mine and I'm excited to keep using it. So thank you to BenQ for reaching out and for letting me try this great light. Okay, let me show you my haul now. I actually bought quite a few market releases and I bought some other things that aren't necessarily market releases. Earlier in the month, I went to Kansas City. My cousin is getting married at the end of May, and we had her bridal shower. So we went to Kansas City, and there is a really, really neat craft store up there. It's a thrift craft store, and it's called Scraps KC. And they have any type of craft supply that you could possibly be looking for. Half-used bottles of paint, scraps of wood, scrap of paper, ribbon, fabric, buttons. They had all sorts of stuff in there. I had never heard of like a scrap thrift store. So think Goodwill, where everything's donated, but it's all craft supplies. It was just the neatest place. So of course I went straight to the cross stitch section, and they had a ton of Aida. I'm not really an Aida stitcher, and they were nice, like big pieces of Aida. So, you know, if you are in the Kansas City area and you want to learn cross stitching, I really think that would be a really good place. That way you kind of get to dabble in it without spending a whole lot of money. Because I don't know about you, but I hate whenever I want to try something new and I go out and I buy all this stuff and then I end up not really loving that craft very much, and I've dropped a lot of money on projects and, you know, things that I'm going to need, painting, you know, fancy brushes, paints, that I'm probably never going to use again. So it was a really neat place. They had, like I said, they had Aida. They had a little bit of linen, and then they also had a lot of cross stitch patterns and kits. Some of them were pretty cool. Some of them were kind of old. But I was digging through the bins and I found Mirabilia patterns for $1 each. I am not a Mirabilia stitcher. That's just not really my style, but I know a lot of other people really like Mirabilia, so I thought I would rescue these and then check the D-stash pages and see if anybody was, you know, looking for something, and maybe we could trade, or I could, you know, make somebody's stitchy dreams come true. So this is the first one I found, Deepest Love. And my next one was Fairy Flora. Then I have Autumn Queen. And lastly, Adia the Garden Fairy. But I was so excited to find these, and I really hope that you know, I find somebody who's looking for these and I can help make their stitchy dreams come true. Like I said, I paid $1 for each of these, so yeah. But I was pretty excited to find something that, you know, could potentially help somebody get something they wanted. We visited a couple cross-stitch shops while we were up there. We went to Quilter's Station, and this was not a new release. Actually, when I went there, they had just gotten back from market a week before, and they did not have their new releases out. So instead, I bought Christmas Tiny Town from Heart and Hand. I saw Elizabeth Ann stitch this on her Instagram and her Flosstube, and I thought it was super cute, and I wanted to stitch it. So I bought that. Then we went over to CC & Company, and I got all my market releases there. So I got my girl Kathy. I got Seasons 2 from Hands On Design, and I cannot wait to stitch these. I'm so excited. I've never done like a full month-to-month piece before. You know, I've gotten a couple done where, you know, I might have done August of 1 month in a series or something like that, but I love all of these, and so I can't wait to stitch them. I haven't picked out my fabric that I'm going to stitch this on yet, so I have not started any of these yet. I want to find just the right fabric, and I just watched her finishing video for this, so I'm really excited to get started on this once I pick out my fabric. Also from Kathy, I got Block Party 4th, and I can't wait for this. I'm probably not going to do the mattress finish. I'm going to just do the one solid piece at the bottom. Let me take this out so you can see it if you have it. I'm sure you have, but it says F is for flag, the red, white, and blue. And I thought that was so pretty. So I need to pick out my fabric for this too, but I'm really loving it. I've also really never stitched a Blackbird, and I got What Remains Is Love. And I'm probably going to change the colors on this so it's a little bit more my style. But I just thought it was really pretty. I'd actually seen this when they released it last year with traditional stitches in Canada. And I've just been waiting for it to be released. And I got it. So I'm really excited to stitch that one. I don't know that I don't have any immediate plans to stitch this. I really think that this is the day it's going to take me a little while, just because that house is so big. So I'm kind of focusing on that right now. And then this last week I went to the Silver Needle. I could not find the right house color for the roof for my This Is the Day house. And again, I usually take the called for colors and I pull them from my Color and Cotton stash, and I didn't have anything that was close to crab cakes or even the DMC alternative. So I went to the Silver Needle this week and I went ahead and just bought 2 skeins of crab cakes, just so it would coordinate and it would look the best. Like I said, normally I don't mind changing my own colors, but I just didn't have anything that was even close to this. So I got that. And then while I was there, I got the Noel sampler from Brenda Gervais, and I might stitch on this in the fall, but I just thought it was really pretty, and I couldn't go to the Silver Needle and not get something, so I'm really excited to start that. Speaking of fabric, a couple weeks ago I placed a 1, 2, 3 stitch order and ordered a bunch of fabric because I felt like my favorite linens that I usually stitch on, I've used. And so I kind of feel like the stuff I have I don't have enough of like my kind of go-tos. My go-tos are, you know, Vintage Country Mocha, Heritage, Legacy, and Ale, and I was running out of all those. So a lot of those are still out of stock, but I did try a couple other things. I told you earlier how much I really like that Weeks linen, so I got a couple more Weeks. This is Aztec Red, and I really thought this would be pretty to do some type of Christmas stitching on. I don't have any plans for this yet, but I just thought it was really pretty. That's a pretty true color right there at that angle. I also got, this is from Weeks, this is Seafoam. And I didn't get big pieces. These are 8 by 12s. So just enough to try it out. This might be, I usually stitch whenever I stitch something on, you know, chalkboard. I usually just buy the chalkboard, you know, linen. But I got this from Weeks and I really like it. It's called Twilight from Weeks. And it's kind of their version of the chalkboard. And I don't know, I just feel like maybe it's got a little bit more modeling to it, I guess. I just thought I really like this. So I'll definitely probably be ordering some more of that for some of my chalkboard pieces. I got a piece of Platinum Belfast. And then I got 5 pieces of Vintage Country Mocha in the 9 by, I don't know, 11, 12, 13 size. Because I'm probably going to continue stitching my Seasons of the Heart houses on this. It's what I stitched my other ones on, or my spring house on. So I'll probably have them all on similar linen. This was something new for me. I've never tried this color. This is Dwarf by Picture This Plus. And it's a really pretty kind of blue. Again, I don't have plans for this, but I thought I'd try something else. This is Tyco from Picture This Plus, and the picture online looks like it has more modeling of kind of like a smoky gray and a brown. The actual piece doesn't have that much modeling on it, but it's still really nice. It's a nice neutral. And I have a bigger piece of Vintage Country Mocha, and a piece of Legacy. I really like this Legacy. If you want to see the Legacy next to the Vintage Country Mocha, the modeling is really good on it, but it's just a little bit lighter than Vintage Country Mocha. And another piece of Legacy. This one's a little bit bigger. And I was trying this out. This is Barnwood Belfast. This would be another really good one if you're looking for kind of a chalkboardy type. The picture online looked a little bit darker, and so I honestly, not darker, I'm sorry. The picture online of this that I saw looked a little bit more brown. And so I was kind of thinking, based on the picture, that I could maybe stitch my Seasons 2 on it. Way too dark. Way too dark. But that is why I buy small pieces to begin with, to see kind of what it looks like. And I would have been really upset if I would have bought a big piece of this and then seeing the color, thinking that it was going to be kind of more of a milk chocolate type brown, and instead gotten this kind of chalkboardy brown. Really beautiful piece. I know I'll find something to do with it, but that's why for me I always buy something small first just to see what it looks like before I make a commitment, because I don't feel like this piece would have looked right on that fabric. And a little bit more haul, and then I think that's about it. Color and Cotton. I got my monthly shipment of Color and Cotton threads for March. This is Shamrock. It's a really pretty bright Kelly green. Carrot, a really vivid orange. Celery is kind of a pale lime color. Banana, this is a pale yellow. Vermilion, this is kind of a reddish coral, but it's pretty bright. I really like this color. I think this would be really pretty for, what are those flowers? Are they poppies? I think it'd be a really pretty poppy color. I'm not a gardener. I like to be, I'm an appreciator of flowers, but I kind of feel like that's more of a poppy color. This is wheatgrass. This is a bright, bright Kelly green. Acid lime. This is pink champagne. And it looks honestly a little bit more tan than pink to me. And blue daisy. And then those were my colors from the color of the month. And then I also had more that I just ordered because I was running low. My favorite green right now, I need to show you this green. If I can get it. My favorite green is sweet basil right now. And it is a really vivid green. It is super saturated. It's got great modeling and great, well, not modeling, variegation to it. But I think this is going to be really pretty for some Christmas stitching. And I cannot wait to use that. So that's my favorite green out of there. And then over here, I have another thing of Hunter, which is kind of like a turquoisey blue. This is Earth Day. It's got blue and green. Delphinium is blues and purples. Versailles, I really like this. This Versailles color would have been really pretty on the ribbon from the Rabbit and the Rose. And this is Farmhouse, and it is truly a grayish, a gray beige, but that's a really pretty color. And what the heck, we'll just go through these two. This is Quarry, and it's kind of a pewtery kind of gray. Sweet Basil. This is Forest, and I was actually talking to a lady on Instagram the other day. She had ordered Forest, and her dye lot was significantly different from what the Forest she originally had. So I need to check with her and see if this is the one that she was looking for, because I would send it to her. There's that. And then we have Cinders, which is black and kind of gray mottled. Variegated, not mottled. Golly, it's been a day. And then I have two things of Cinders. I'm sorry, Salem, not Cinders. And these two Salems are quite different. This one is more like midnight blue, and this one is a little bit more purple. And I want to say she differentiated them on her website, and one was Salem Light and one was Salem Dark. But I wasn't sure which one I would like, so I ordered them both. So there's that. That is about it, guys. Thank you for watching today. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment box below. And that's about, I'm not going to go through all these, but these are all the colors I pulled for This Is the Day. Some of them are the called for colors, and some of them are really close that I'm going to do my own conversions on. But again, I haven't decided, so I kind of have everything together, and I'll make sure I list all my my final choices on my Instagram. So thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time, and I hope you have a great day and that you're stitching on something wonderful. You can follow me on Instagram at Mrs. Jones Stitches, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.